Raise your hand if you've ever picked up your phone, forgot why you did, and then ended up watching a video of a raccoon washing grapes for 20 minutes. Imagine this. You're stuck in a waiting room. No phone, no book, no music, nothing to entertain you. Just you and your thoughts. How does that feel? Uncomfortable? Unbearable? Let me ask you something. When was the last time you were truly, deeply bored? Not just mindlessly scrolling on TikTok or passively watching Netflix, but genuinely left alone with nothing to do. And here's another question. How many times have your parents told you, you're so lazy, if you don't do something, you'll never get anywhere? Many, right? We've grown up believing that doing nothing is a flaw. But what if it's actually a gift? Most of us avoid boredom like the plague. But I'm here to tell you that boredom, the very thing we run from, is actually a superpower, a hidden key to our most creative and brilliant ideas. We live in an age where boredom is almost extinct. Every free second is filled with content. Waiting in line, check your phone. Sitting on the couch, turn on Netflix. Walking somewhere, put in your earbuds. And we don't even question it. Some of us open Instagram like it's the fridge. Even though we just looked inside 5 minutes ago, we keep checking, even though nothing's changed. Our brains have become so accustomed to constant stimulation that even the idea of doing nothing feels unnatural. In fact, studies show that people would rather shock themselves with electric jolts than sit in silence for just 15 minutes. Think about that. We would rather experience pain than stillness. Why? Our brains have become so accustomed to constant input that even the idea of doing nothing feels unnatural. Why? Because every time we check our phones, our brains release a tiny hit of dopamine, the same chemical linked to pleasure and reward. The more we scroll, the more we crave it. And over time, we lose our ability to just be. Of course, there's a difference between healthy boredom and chronic understimulation, which can lead to depression or restlessness. But the kind I'm talking about is the healthy quiet that can lead to creativity. I remember this one afternoon, I was sitting in my room feeling bored. I had already scrolled through my phone more times than I could count, and something in me just did not want to do it again. So I put it down, and I just sat there. No distractions, no plan, just this uncomfortable, empty space and the white wall staring back at me. Then, out of nowhere, I had a crazy idea. What if I painted my wall? Not because I had planned to, not because it was on a to-do list, not even because my mom said yes. In fact, she said no. But simply because my mind was searching for something to create. So I grabbed some paint, picked up a brush, and before I knew it, hours had passed. And the crazy thing is that now I have another and another. These three walls are now... These three walls are now my favorite things in my house. Then it hit me. These are the moments where I thrive the most. Not when I'm busy, but when I'm still. Okay, let's try something. Close your eyes for 10 seconds. Okay, by a show of hands, how many of you felt uncomfortable? How many of you felt bored? Maybe someone panicked a little? That's because we're out of practice. But that uncomfortable space, That is where the magic happens. Some of the greatest ideas in history weren't born in a brainstorming session. They were born in moments of quiet. Isaac Newton discovered gravity out of boredom. J.K. Rowling got the idea for Harry Potter on a delayed train staring out the window with nothing to do. Coca-Cola was invented when John Pemberton got bored and made a potion in his lab. The Wright brothers created airplanes because they found bikes boring. Think about your own lives. When do your best ideas come to you? In the shower, on a long drive, while staring at the ceiling at 2 in the morning? All right, let's get scientific for a second. When we're bored, when we're constantly engaged, we rely on the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for focus, decision-making, and short-term thinking. But when we're bored, another network lights up, the default mode network, DMN. The DMN is responsible for imagination, introspection, and deep thought. In fact, neuroscientists have found that people who regularly engage with their DMN are far more likely to be innovative thinkers. In contrast, chronic overstimulation, like constantly checking your phone, shrinks our capacity for depth. It weakens our ability to solve complex problems, think about ourselves, and even generate new ideas. Okay, so how do we bring boredom back into our lives? Here are 3 simple ways. First, embrace screen-free gaps. Instead of reaching for your phone in every spare moment, let your mind wander. Try it in line at the grocery store or while drinking your morning coffee. Second, schedule nothing time. Block 10 to 15 minutes a day where you sit there and do nothing. And third, engage in mindless tasks. Washing dishes, folding laundry, or going for a walk without headphones can all help spark your most unexpected ideas. The key is to let yourself be bored. So here's my challenge to you. In the next 24 hours, I want you to find just one moment where you resist the urge to be entertained. And if you come up with an interesting idea or even a weird thought, write it down. Because here's the truth. The next great idea, the next breakthrough, the next novel, the next invention isn't hiding in your feed. It's waiting for you in the quiet, in the stillness, and the boredom. Thank you.